So hey guys, and welcome to the video, and welcome to my 16th episode of my Perfect Park series here on Planet Coaster. Today we're going to be building the station around the B&M invert that we created in last episode. I have made a few adjustments to the layout of the B&M invert, but they're only a small handful of changes around the end of the ride, just because I felt like the roller coaster itself needed a bit of an ending. It sort of went off into that windy piece of track and didn't really end very well. There was still quite a bit of momentum in the roller coaster itself, so I made it go around in a little helix turnaround section type thing. And again, you'll see that towards the end of the episode. At the moment, I'm building the first bits of the station building. I wanted this again to fit in with that nice aesthetic, like we built around the Mara spinning coaster, and I felt like I matched that quite nicely. If not, I made it look pretty coherent with the other area. Because again, this is the Knights area. The two areas do match up, and it's in the grand scheme of things, they are just one area. What I realised was, when off camera, I was looking at the park, and I looked at the entrance. And the entrance actually matches up to the Knights area quite well. Yes, the entrance building is a scarlet colour, but if you look at the way that the buildings are designed, yes, they match quite nicely with this area. So, you know what? I'm quite happy with the way that this is going. Next episode, I'm probably going to clean up the park. I've been saying it for a few episodes now that needs doing. And I'm going to get that done. That episode will probably consist of less of me talking, more gameplay. So I'll talk a bit at the start of the episode, but I won't necessarily talk throughout the episode. But again, that's next week. Now is now. So guys, I'm going to let the footage speed on a bit, and I shall see you in a second. So here we go. So I'm starting to build the wall that bridges these two sections together. So there's two sections to the station. There is the section where the roller coaster enters the station, and there is also the section that houses the station itself. So the block section that slows the train down before it gets into the station is completely enclosed. Off camera, I am going to work on this a bit more. I'm going to theme the inside of the station, and I'm also going to brighten up the outside of the station itself as well. I do add these turrets to the top of the either section as well. This is just to add a bit of depth to the building, to be honest with you, because I couldn't decide exactly what I wanted to do with this station building. It's something that I'm going to again continue work on off camera and hopefully get down to a T when I have a bit of time. As I said at the start of the episode as well, there are a few things in this park that needs to be neatened up, and I do believe around this particular area is something that does need to be worked on, because the transition between the two roller coasters, the Mara spinning coaster and the B&M invert, is a bit jarring. You know, there's only a path that separates these two areas. I do want that path again to be there, but I want things involved with the night's theme to be surrounding that path as well, and I also want to do a bit of terrain work around this area as well, just to make it look a bit more unique. That's something that I've started to do with my Planet Coaster parks. I've started to use a bit more of the terrain, and I've started to mess a bit with that. Doing terrain work and looking at how you know, to manipulate the terrain in parks, it's really added a depth to my parks that honestly I didn't have before, because I've never really edited the terrain in any of my parks before I started doing it on this series, and it's something that I'm going to continue doing into future series on this channel, and also my own personal parks, because the more you get the hang of it, the more you can make the terrain do what you want it to do. So I've always had flat parks, to be honest with you, and I've always built roller coasters on flat parks, but you can have some fantastic interaction with the terrain on some roller coasters if you edit it in the right way. And that's something that I've really tried to drill home with both the Mara coaster and this B&M invert, just the way that the theme demands it as well. Because that castle aesthetic, you know, nice, traveling into the unknown, you know, again, the aesthetic demands it, and it's something that, again, I'm going to be doing a lot more in my parks in the future. One thing that I do have planned for this park before I do the opening is I want to do a sort of a western themed area. That's going to have a lot of terrain in it, and I have got a roller coaster planned for that area as well. It is going to be another thrill coaster, but that's all I'm saying on it until we do get to that episode. That'll probably be in 2 or 3 episodes time. So again, definitely subscribe and like this video to see that as well. I know my last episode got a lot of positive reactions. That is one of the most successful videos in the series, in fact, and I was really surprised to see that people were enjoying it so much, to be honest with you, and I really like to see that you guys enjoy my videos. Again, like I said in my update video, as much as I do this as a passion project, you know, it's amazing when somebody comments on my videos, or somebody likes my videos, or I see my videos getting a certain amount of views. It's, you know, it's fantastic, and it really does give you a buzz. And you know, I really do like the community aspect of doing YouTube as well, and this little community that I've built up, you know. Like, it's not just on YouTube that the iCoaster community, you know, is there. You know, it's in Instagram, and it's on my Facebook page as well. So if you're not following me on those, please go in the description and follow me now, because you are missing out if you're not following me on my other social media platforms. On my Instagram, I do quizzes, and I do more interactive type things, where on my Facebook I tend to do more question-y type things, so I ask you guys questions on my Facebook. So again, it's definitely worth the follow, so please go in the description and follow my other social media channels so you don't miss anything from iCoaster. So guys, I've rambled on enough. I'm going to let the episode run and I'll come back in a second. Right, so we've reached the last segment of the episode. Here you can start to see me do quite a bit of rock work around this roller coaster. Towards the end of this episode, sort of in a few minutes time, you'll see that I completely transform the area around this roller coaster with the rock work that I do. I do a bit of terrain painting, but I don't really think that the terrain painting does the terrain enough justice sometimes. I really feel like you have to go in with, you know, a bit of granular control and put some rock work in just to make things look neat and good. That's something that I'll be doing in that western area as well. I've already got a few plans for that western area and how things are going to pan out. And I'm really excited to do that for you guys. But again, that'll be in a few episodes' time, so definitely subscribe for that. I put this pool area, this water pool area around the helix, just because I wanted the roller coaster to fly over a body of water, just to create a great near miss element. I feel like it's a bit of a wasted opportunity on a B&M invert if you don't have near-miss elements. I feel like that's something that really makes a B&M invert pop, and really makes a B&M invert unique. So the two B&M inverts that we have in the UK, for example, we have Nemesis Inferno and Nemesis, both of which have great near-miss elements. I know towards the end of Nemesis Inferno, around that turnaround section, you have that wall that you near miss on the original Nemesis coaster, the beast itself. You have so many near miss elements, and it's great. I love B&M inverts just for that, because you can add near-miss elements and it adds so much to the experience. Yeah, you can do them on SLCs, but with SLCs, they're not the smoothest things in the world, so you don't really notice near-miss elements all that much. You're more focused on placing your head back against the seat and just praying that you don't break your neck. Bit of an exaggeration, but on some SLCs like Infusion at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, that is definitely the case. But you just you don't notice the near-miss elements enough because of the ride experience on SLCs. And that's why I feel like B&M inverts have the edge over SLCs. Again, it's just because B&M inverts are so smooth. You notice a lot more, and you are interacting with the terrain a lot more because of that as well. And a lot of B&M inverts are, if not all of them, are sort of like custom layouts. So they've all been specifically designed to fit in a certain place, whereas Vekoma SLCs tend to use standard layouts. There are exceptions, like the Jubilee Odyssey at Fantasy Island, for example, and I'm sure there are a few more around the world that I can't think of at this moment in time, but they tend to be standard layouts, and because of that, they don't really interact with the terrain and interact with the surrounding area as much as B&M inverts do. I'd like to see another manufacturer attempt to do an invert, to be honest with you. I feel like Mack would do a fantastic invert if they ever went down the route of doing inverts. I also feel like Intamin, they have done an invert before, but unfortunately that has been demolished. I'd like to see them do a few more and see them try their hand at inverts, just to see how they would go with an invert. But that's something to look forward to the future, to be honest with you. I feel like with the way that roller coasters are evolving, you could see an inverted spinning coaster, for example. With like inverted spinning coasters, we've already sort of seen something like that. There was a water coaster model from Intamin, I think, that span and inverted, but there wasn't many that are installed around the world, so it's sad that we don't have any of those in Europe, for example. So guys, we have reached the end of the video. I really hope that you've enjoyed this. I know I've enjoyed rambling on to you guys, and I know that I've enjoyed recording it. I always love playing a good bit of Planet Coaster, so please smack that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss a single video. So guys, I've been Ryan from iCoaster. Enjoy this POV. Goodbye.